Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today we've got a Ben Wallace build. So Ben Wallace is one of my most favourite players of all time. You know, he's done pretty much everything a defensive big can do. You know, he's been a 4-time defensive player of the year, 6-time all defensive team member. He's been a blocks champ, he's been a 2-time rebound champ, he's been an NBA champion. He's been, a 4-time all-star, so he's done pretty much everything he can do as a player. We'll make sure he's a center and we'll move on to the body settings. So on basketballreference.com, he's listed at 6'9", so you won't get any big man contact dunks with this build. And he wasn't a very great scorer either, so this would be very much a lockdown center build. Really high defensive stats and really high amount of defensive badges. So we're going to go 6'9", and we're going to drop the weight to 242. So just a little bit, just to boost some speed and things. But the wingspan is going to go to the max, which is 7'7". Body shape, I just chose built for Ben Wallace because he's a real big man. Just ask the Indiana Pacers. And we'll move on to the attributes. Now, in terms of scoring, he never averaged double-digit points in a season in his career. And he only averaged 5.7 points for his career overall. Now, that was impacted a lot by, different roles on different teams, coming off the bench and things, but he definitely wasn't a scorer. But in saying that, you do have a lot of points to spend on the build, so whilst the defense will be close to maxed out, we did have some more points to spend, so I just chose to give it some level of scoring so that you don't get so bored just playing one end of the floor. So on offense, you'll be able to do some different things. You'll have an 85 close shot, so you'll have that gold fast twitch. Driving layup, we're going to push to an 80 just for those layup packages. So you'll be able to score by a layup. Driving dunk, we're going to push to an 87. So you will have the pro contact dunks with this build. And at 87, you just get the extra badge point. Standing dunk, now you aren't 6'10", so you won't get the big man contact dunks. But at 82, you just get the extra badge point. And having a high standing dunk is still important because you are a center, so you'll be playing around the rim a lot. We're not going to upgrade post control because he definitely wasn't a post player. In terms of shooting, he was definitely not a shooter either. In fact, he rarely took threes. He would have only had a handful of three-point attempts for his career, I think. But in saying that, we are going to push free throw up a bit because you are a bit of a slasher. So we're going to push it to a 70, and that's quite generous because he only shot 41.4% from the free throw line for his career. So he was a horrible shooter, but 70 free throw will still be okay for 2K. Now playmaking, we're just going to push pass accuracy to a 76. So that's just to get the goal break starter and also the LeBron passing style, which is important because you are a center, you are grabbing boards, you want to help your teammates out by sending out really great outlet passes that don't get turned over. But this is really where the build is going to shine. On the defensive end, he's a fabulous defender. Like I said, he's a 4-time defensive player of the year, 6-time all defense, 2-time rebound champ, and a blocks champ. So we're going to absolutely stack the defense. So in terms of interior defense, you can go all the way to the max, but I've chosen just to go to 93 because I think that's all you really need. At 93, you get the Hall of Fame post lockdown. You can get brick wall a bit higher if you bump the interior defense, but I don't think that's necessary for brick wall. But you do have the Hall of Fame post lockdown, which is definitely important for Ben Wallace. In terms of perimeter defense, you will be able to switch out on guards with this build. So you'll have an 86 perimeter defense. That's quite quick laterally. And you'll also have the silver clamps in tier 2. So you'll definitely be able to switch out on the guards, particularly on the park, and really lock them down. Now in terms of steal, he didn't average a heap of steals, but this is a pure lockdown build, and for the badge points and just the rating in general and the effectiveness, we're going to push that to the max, which is 90. So you will have the gold interceptor along with a 7'7" wingspan. So you'll definitely be able to get those passes where the point guard's looking for those backdoor cutters. You'll definitely be able to intercept them. Now in terms of block, we're just chucking that to a 99. Just for the rating, but also for that Hall of Fame anchor because he was so good defensively, being so undersized, but still able just to thwart any other big center. Shaq would often say he was so hard to deal with. They beat the Lakers in 04 because of his great defense on Shaq. So we're definitely going to max that out. Offensive rebound is going to go to a 93. So that's going to be a great rating as well because you will have pretty much Hall of Fame rebound chaser because we're going to push defensive rebound to a 99. So I see sometimes a lot of builds, it's actually easier or cheaper to max out offensive rebound and drop defensive rebound. But as you can see, we've got 93 offensive and 99 defensive here with the 34 badges. If we swap it around, as soon as we hit 96, the badge points go down. So it's actually cheaper to drop offensive rebound on this build. So make sure it's 93 and 99. But you got the 34 defensive badges with, you know, so many things Hall of Fame, Anchor Hall of Fame, Pogo Stick Hall of Fame, Rebound Chaser Hall of Fame, Box Out Beasts Hall of Fame, Post Lockdowns Hall of Fame. So many high level, high tier badges that you can equip with this build. In terms of the physicals, we're just going to push speed to a 74. That's a little bit below the max. And we're going to push acceleration to 72. So that's going to be the max. So you can definitely make the build faster, but I don't think it's necessary. 74 should be fine. In terms of strength, you know, he's just a monster. Even at 6'9", he was a monster. So we're going to push strength to an 89. Just make sure your post control is at 29 because that does get bumped up with the strength, but you will be a beast. You know, that should really help you work around box outs and secure those offensive rebounds, and also box out maybe bigger centers that, you know, are running around. There's still an occasional, you know, 7+ foot center that runs around. And in terms of the vert, you are 6'9", so you do need a bit of vert. You do need the 75 for the contact dunks anyway, but I've just pushed it up to an 80 just for the extra vertical and jumping ability. And the rest is going to go on stamina for a 91 stamina, and that's the build. So in total you have the 21 finishing, 0 shooting, 8 playmaking, and 34 defensive badges for a total of 63 badges on this really elite, top tier defensive center that can switch out on the guards, play against, you know, centers bigger than he is. You know, he's got the gold break starter to help with those outlet passes and also contact dunks and close shot ability. So this build's got a method of scoring that's not too bad, but, you know, it's going to dominate on the defensive end in particular. But we'll take a look at the takeovers. So for Ben Wallace, I just chose Pain Intimidation because, you know, he's a very intimidating player. And then box out wall as well because he was so strong, he was able to box out stronger and bigger players as well. So those are the two I went with. But as you can see, you've got shades of Ben Wallace, Clint Capella, and Robert Williams III. So Ben Wallace is there. I don't see him pop up too often, but it's great to have him there. And you've built a glass cleaning lockdown. And we'll take a look at the badges. So for finishing for Ben Wallace, obviously he's not much of a scorer, so there's nothing really to base it on except that you've got the 21 badge points and, you know, you've got a method of scoring at the rim. So you just want all the core big man badges. So, you know, Limitless Takeoff will be great. You don't have any dribbling capability at all, but you can still move around players. You just catch it on the perimeter, they try and close out, and you just walk around them. That's how I do it anyway with my center that only has like 41 ball control. And you'll still get the animations for, you know, those contact dunks, but you'll also be able to just catch it on the move with those backdoor cuts and finish. So gold Limitless Takeoff is going to be great. Slithery Finish will also be great just to weave through that traffic. Aerial Wizard will also be fantastic to have just because you will be a lob threat. In particular, you know, he did catch a lot of lobs, you know, Chauncey Billups and things like that, pick and rolls. But, you know, that's your 10. You can go on a tier 3. It's really up to you. You know, you could core fast twitch, maybe put posterizer on, and then you put an extra badge point in to get rise up silver. But you've also got, you know, bully there if you want to be a bit more of a beast and get those animations that come with bully. But you can definitely make a decent scoring player, particularly off the pick and roll and backdoor cuts. Now for shooting, I always say with my slasher builds, if you've got an ability to put an extra badge point with your +4 into shooting, Slippery Off Ball is a really handy badge to have just to move around the court freely. Now for playmaking, definitely just, you know, those break starter ones, the outlet passes, just to help with those. You know, break starter, needle threader, you can definitely core needle threader, save some points there. And from here, you know, you may just want to put Dimer on. That'll help with a lot of things, you know, the outlet passes and the offensive rebounds and kicking it out to your shooters. with the 3 left, you know, bailout might be a great option to have if you ever go for a drive and you're not quite getting the animation you want. You can kick it out to a teammate. But now we're here, we're at defense. This is what we made the build for. We got the 34 defensive badges. I'm just going to start out just by putting on, you know, the interceptor, and then we're just going to put on box out beast on gold, and then post lockdown on silver, just to push to a 10, just so we can go down to tier 3. Core anchor on Hall of Fame. Put pogo stick on Hall of Fame. Rebound chaser on Hall of Fame. We've still got 8 points left. You know, if you want to be a real post lockdown player, you can put that on Hall of Fame. Box out beast can go on Hall of Fame. Still got 5 left. You know, chase down artists can go on gold, because you may be able to chase down opponents and, you know, swat them at the rim. That you could, I mean, there's 5 Hall of Fame badges here with 2 gold badges as well. Obviously, you can mix and match. If you want to be able to switch out on the guards, you know, you can get Clamp Silver with Pick Dodger as well. If you want to challenge shots, challenges there on the perimeter. But these will be the core ones I would look at that will make you an absolute beast interior defender. All in all, that's the build. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a really great day.